Edo State Government has disbanded the media crew attached to the office of the Deputy Governor with a directive to the Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, to henceforth request the Ministry of Communication and Orientation for media coverage of the activities of his office. The directive follows the incident that happened during the colloquium held to mark the 60th anniversary of Midwest referendum held at the Sir Victor Y4 Creative Hub and Sound Stage, where some journalists who claim to be the media crew of the Deputy Governor attempted to force their way into the hall where the Governor, Godwin, Obaseki, and other invited dignitaries were already seated. Philip Shaibu later walked out of the venue visibly angry after altercations with security operatives barred his media team from gaining entrance into the premises. Joining us now on the morning show as we look at the recurring frictions between the Edo State Governor and his deputy, especially the incident that happened yesterday at the colloquium, is Chris Osa Nehikhare, Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Edo State. Good morning, Mr. Nehikhare, and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, so paint a picture for us, or perhaps give us the details of what's going on in Edo State and this conflict. On one hand, the Deputy Governor, Mr. Shaibu, is saying, the Governor, Governor Obaseki is his senior brother. On the other hand, we see what happened, which played out 2 days ago, and now the Governor sacking his media aides. What's really happening in Edo State?
Well, we're all aware of the background. The Deputy Governor has taken the state government to court over an alleged impeachment plot against him. And it's amazing that now suspicion or future plans have been stopped in court. But anyway, that allegation we all know is not right. But then there's everywhere you go around the country and around the world, there are consequences for such actions. And of course, the state government is not happy with the turn of events. But however, we haven't done anything to reduce the office of the Deputy Governor. We have worked with him. We have continued to give him all due respect, which his office demands. But unfortunately, yesterday, during the colloquium, a very important event, where we had a governor, at least 2 former governors from Edo State, senators, and all important, very important persons, were all there. And the Deputy Governor, which to me I think was unnecessary, came in to an event, sat down, hugged everybody, and had a good laugh with all the other guests that were in the hall. Only for a few moments later, because it's a government event, security is very necessary, and there's an accreditation going on. And our people needed to accredit those that claimed they were media aid to the Deputy Governor. We can't have 2 governments, and we don't have 2 governments. We have one. What happened is that we told them, okay, if we don't know what you mean by media aid to the Deputy Governor, there's media aid to just a government house, and they were all already there. So they will cover the events successfully like we always do normally. And by the way, you're also not accredited. We don't even know who you are. And we asked them to please leave or not come in. At that point, one of them picked up his telephone and called the Deputy Governor that they've been refused entry. Of course, the Deputy Governor came and was dishing out instructions that they must be allowed in, even though there was a breach of protocol. And we explained to the Deputy Governor that no, the government house team is here. There's one government, everybody's going to be covered. If all the guests come with their own media crew, former Governor Shomole comes with his media team, Senator Osumbo comes with his media team, Senator Zamere, Governor from Bayelsa, Governor from Delta, or their representatives all come with their media team. We will not be able to control the crowd. And besides, we don't even know who these people are. So please allow us to do the duties as we normally do it. But I think in retrospect, we now know that it was planned. It was an attempt to disrupt and also embarrass the government. But then, the only person embarrassed now is the Deputy Governor, because everybody's asking, why will the Deputy Governor be coming to an event with his own team, different from the team of the state government and different from the team that has been put there, even without being accredited? We needed to deal with this and to streamline all these matters. Even though these rules were in place before, we need to talk to the Ministry of Communications. If you're going for a government function, we will assign press to you. And that was been the rule. We just need to reassign it again and reassert it again yesterday. And that's the position right now.
Okay. Chris Nehikhare, Commissioner for Communication and Information in Edo State. It's so good to see you. There is a likelihood that everybody wants to talk about the incident that happened yesterday with regards to the deputy governor. But the focus must not be shifted away from the significance. So before we even go deeply into the issue of whether it was right to allow his people to come in or not, let's talk about the significance of this event to the people of Edo State. How far the state has come for the last 60 years, how well the state has done. Share that with us because the people need to understand.
Thank you very much. And that is actually why we needed to nip this in the bud. We had a very important event, the most important event Edo has probably hosted in the last 40 to 50 years. It was an anniversary as Edo being the only region, Edo Delta State being the only region, the only state that actually the people demanded that we wanted to be free, that we wanted to have our identity. We all went to a plebiscite and we voted to have our identity. And then when we got this identity, we were also the only state that we were not able to get anything from the Western region from which we came out of. They refused to share the joint assets with us. We had to build from scratch. And today we have 2 or probably 3 of the most vital states in the country. Edo State, Delta State, and part of Bayelsa. These were the babies born from that plebiscite. We have an Edo State today with people that are thriving all over the world. We have a Delta State, also people thriving all over the world. We've built a state, or built 2 states. We are like Siamese twins because we also divided in 1991 into Edo and Delta. We don't call it division anymore. We call it the best of twins. And we are growing together, building a society where we want to reduce unemployment, where we want to increase and better the poverty level of our people. We don't want poverty. So these are the areas we are working very hard on. In Edo, I speak for Edo specifically. This government especially has done so much in all the areas of infrastructure, economic development, in agriculture, wherever you want to look at it. We've done so much, and that is the emphasis. That's how we want people to look at Edo State, not with these unnecessary distractions, which was orchestrated to divert attention from the good job this government and the previous ones have done for Edo State.
All right, Mr. Chris Nehikhare, good to talk to you. Real quickly, I'm just going to ask a couple of questions. So maybe you can note them down because there will be quite a lot. There was a statement yesterday released that, one, the state government has disbanded the media crew to the deputy governor. Please explain to me how it works. Does the deputy governor always have his own media crew separate from the governor? And because now you're saying his crew will have, if he needs a crew, media crew, will have to go to the Ministry of Information or something. Does he have a separate crew? And why is the crew being disbanded? Is that as a result of what happened yesterday? Secondly, there has also been other cases as regards the deputy governor, stopped from seeing the governor. One was the church incident. I know if you like to make some clarity as regards that. Thirdly, when last did the deputy governor have a one-on-one or a tete-a-tete with the governor? When last did he go to the governor's house? When last did he interface, with the governor? And as regards this, when last did all of this happen? Has he gone to visit the governor, in a convivial way? Because both of them used to be really very close. And when I saw that photo, I looked at it and said, you politicians don't die in your war, honestly. Because the same Adams Oshiomhole that the governor fought before is not the beautiful bride. His best man, Philip Shaibu, is not the enemy. So you see, you politicians, you guys are very convoluted. God knows how politicians operate. So that's why I'm just asking all of these questions for clarity.
Thank you very much.
Bless you, my brother.
First and foremost, I got to start from your last one. Our governor does not fight. Our governor did not fight with anybody. There was a clash of interest, and everybody dealt with their interest. The governor wanted a second term, which Edo people were demanding that he must get a second term. And then, but the APC, headed by Oshomole at the time, did not want to offer him that position to fight to get a second term. And if you recall, I was the state publicity secretary of PDP at the time, and we were very happy, even though we were criticizing the governor at the time, but we knew he was the best man for the job, and we supported him, we welcomed him, and today he's even doing marvelously well. So the governor did not fight with Oshomole, neither did Oshomole fight with the governor. What was happening was a clash of interest, which has been taken care of since that time.
Okay, what's the difference between a fight and a clash of interest?
Press crew.
What's the difference between a fight and a clash of interest?
The fight is when you become enemies over personal things. That's that's my definition. That's a fight. But this happened for principle's sake.
So when you have a clash of interest, you don't become enemies over things.
Oh no! Especially when the interest of the people is what you are protecting.
Okay.
The governor was working for the interest of Edo people, the generality of Edo people, not for a select few at that time.
Okay, so you can have a clash of interest without having a
that answers us.
All-out fight. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Now the disbanded crew, we are still investigating because we are amazed that a team came and identified themselves as the deputy governor's media crew. What we've always had is a crew attached to government house, which we assign to the governor or to the deputy governor, depending on who has an official engagement. So that is why we were wondering, who are these people? Who are these people? And we have now, lots of things have happened in the last 15 to 20 hours. We have discovered these people are not from government house.
So why did you disband
them? They are not the official crew which we normally assign to government house.
Mr. Commissioner, why did you disband people you don't know? Why did you disband people you don't know?
We're not disbanded. No. What we have disbanded is the team normally we attach to government, to deputy governor personally.
Okay.
We had to react. The team which was initially or originally that when deputy governor, that is the team we have disbanded. Now we want to recalibrate it. Whenever His Excellency the Deputy Governor wants to go out on official function, we have his protocol list, we have his appointment dates, and then we can assign a team to the Deputy Governor. And I'll take responsibility for that, to know that these are people within government. Those people that came here yesterday, they were not from within government. We don't know who they are. Those that claim they were Deputy Governor's media crew, we don't know who they are. So to make this easy for us, whoever our people are that used to be or that we are assigned to that for that office, we have now said, okay, now that system is no longer in existence. What is not in existence? We have daily or weekly, we have the itinerary of the deputy governor. Whenever that itinerary is provided to us, we will now assign a team to go with the deputy governor for official engagement. However, if he's going for private engagement, he can take whatever crew he wants from whatever radio, TV station, whatever. That is not our problem. But official government problem. Just think about the chaos that would have been caused where the governor comes with a team of media. Former Governor Oshomole comes with his own media. Governor from Bayelsa with his own media. Governor from Delta with his own media. All the senators with their medias in a hall. Think about it. So we have to slimline these things. We are very organized people in Edo State, and everybody has to work in a system where everything works seamlessly.
Okay.
You mentioned about the deputy governor being stopped from saying the governor.
Yes,
well, the security man, I'm sure you know, was doing his job.
Okay.
It happened in the church the security man was doing his job, and I can assure you that His Excellency Governor Obaseki was probably not aware of what was going on at that point in time, because I personally didn't even see it happen. I saw the deputy governor approach and I saw him go back, and it is allowed. And most of us in government at that point in time were not even aware the deputy governor was in town. He's been on holidays for the past 3 to 4 weeks. We were not even aware he's in town. So his office had not informed government that deputy governor was in town. So he came there, sat down, and the protocol was respected. They knew he was there, and everybody dealt with him as the deputy governor of Edo State. We have no quarrel with that because he's the deputy governor. All these privileges were offered and given to him. If he approached the governor, like most of the story going around now, and the governor's security details stopped him from saying the governor, the man was doing his job. The man was doing his job. I don't know why he stopped him. I don't think there was an instruction for him to be stopped. But the security man is the one that can tell you why he may have stopped the deputy governor from approaching the governor at that point in time. And then when you talk of when was the last time he visited the governor, I do not know the last time he visited the governor. He has been away for at least 6 weeks. He is the one that has gone to court to restrain us, restrain the government, including especially the governor and other arms of government from impeaching him. We did not have such plan. You know, and like in Benin, in Edo State, I'm sure in Nigeria, when you take a man to court, you can no longer dine with him. We have to be realistic. But if the case is out of court, you settle out of court, then you can have dinner, have a beer together. Because there is something that has led to this. You took a government to court to try to stop an impeachment that was not even planned. And then you're not trying to play the victim by orchestrating and disrupting government events.
All right, Mr. Nehikhare. Mr. Nehikhare, in your submissions, you've portrayed all the blame you've put at the feet of the deputy governor, Mr. Philip Shaibu. He's the one who took the government to court. He's the one who came from holiday without informing his principal. He's the one who's been on holiday. And you even mentioned that a security detail of the governor prevented his deputy from extending, greetings to the governor, and there was no investigation, no questions asked. You're telling us on air that you don't know why he did that, and he must have his reasons. Wouldn't you think that would have been a case for you querying if it's an unusual practice? Or has this been the practice in the past whereby when the deputy governor would come and speak to the governor, they would rebuff him, or the security detail would have the authority to tell him not to come through? Or is this a new development or a new instruction given to security details? Because I know you're here to speak on behalf of the governor, but a lot of blame is put on the doorstep of the deputy governor. So that's one. And then the second part of it is that for such a wonderful occasion where you're celebrating such an august milestone in terms of 60 years of the Midwestern referendum, you're celebrating 32 years of Edo State as a state, of Edo as a state. Like Ms. K had mentioned, that's the focus. But this has distracted largely from the main celebration, such that we're not talking about governance anymore. We're not talking about the fact that Edo is now 32 years. We're looking at the fact that the governor and the deputy governor are at loggerheads. When will this end? What will be the end of this? Exactly.
You see, this is what we say it was orchestrated. The deputy governor, we all know, he also said it is ambitious. He wants to be governor, and good luck to him. No one can stop anyone from being ambitious. Everyone can be ambitious. You can do as you wish. But you do not bring the house down to feed your ego. And that is what has happened. We organized a program, a beautiful program for all Nigerians to see, for the whole world to see. But it deliberately planned this. The day before, he appeared in church without anybody having an inkling that he was in town. And then, all of it, if he wanted to greet the governor, he knows the governor's house. He has the governor's phone number. He could have approached the governor and said, Your Excellency, I'm back in town. I'll be attending the church service. Nobody in government house, nobody in government knew he was around. Only for him to appear in church. Luckily, there was a seat provided for him just in case, because he's still our deputy governor. So that protocol was observed.
Oh.
Only for him to sit down, and then the governor is seated down, and then he's approaching the governor. To what aim? To make sure that the rest of the world tries to play the victim. We have to be realistic. We are not. If you notice, we did not make any statement on that the day before, because we wanted to concentrate on Edo at 32.
Okay.
On the development strides we have made, on what we have done for Edo in the last few years. Yeah. That was our focus.
Okay, so just before we let you go, just help us understand 60 years of Midwest and 32 years of Edo State, and the number of states in the South have been talking about Bayelsa beyond oil, Edo beyond oil, Delta beyond oil. What has been the results for what do you think will be the legacy of the government as part of celebration of 32 years of Edo State, would you say that the legacy will be beyond oil projection?
Oh, certainly. And in Edo, we're actually very proud of what is going on right now. We have right now the biggest oil production, oil palm project or program in Africa. And that has brought in investment close to $1.5 billion. That is taking place in Edo right now. We have modular refineries also producing for power, giving us light. Where we're talking from right now, we are using the Oshomo power, which is powered by gas. We have 24-hour lights. These are happening, and we are already pumping our gas all over West Africa. A few months ago, the Republic of Benin sent in representative to discuss with one of the refineries here in Edo. Edo is already thinking beyond oil. We are building the biggest tourism system in the country right now here in Edo. We are creating the Moa Museum, creating a city center where you can come in and see Edo as it was, creating a live rainforest region. All these are happening and will be ready in the next few months. We are working very hard to make sure that the future leaders of this state do not need to wait for allocation from Abuja, but from what we generate, from the people we invite into our state, we can have a state that is great again.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chris Nehikhare, for your time this morning. And we do hope that that the crisis will be resolved. And most importantly, congratulations to Edo at 32.